All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin. All right, welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. We're back again with another live stream, bringing you the latest in Chelsea transfer news, Chelsea gossip, Chelsea discussion, Chelsea everything. And it's so good to be back. I think we've missed out on live stream for the past couple of days, maybe. So it's good to be back doing this and connecting with you guys. And we've got a top topic lined up, honestly. I want to see how you guys feel about this. This is what's been circulating around with the Michael Olise news. It looks like we are very serious about the Michael Olise transfer to Chelsea Football Club. We'll see how it all materializes. Fabrizio Romano did come out not that long ago stating, I think it was in Court Offside or somewhere, he stated that we are still very much focused on the Caicedo deal, and then after that, we'll see what happens. But yeah, of course, there is some sort of interest in regards to Michael Olise. More specifically, in regards to the release clause. The release clause is quite ridiculous, ladies and gentlemen. I think the release clause is £35 million. So it's a very tempting situation. I'm just a bit baffled that not more other teams are getting into this act. Obviously, Man City are linked with him. There is injury concerns. Apparently, he was recently injured again with his hamstring. So we'll talk about all of that. But the biggest news out of all of this is the fact that we've potentially going after someone like Michael Olise. Don't forget, you still have Madueke on that right side. Olise potentially will play on that right side, drifting into central areas. Maybe at times he can play on the left side as well, but predominantly you'd think he'd feature on that right side. Which means, what happens to Angelo Gabriel? And this is the discussion, ladies and gentlemen. This is where there seems to be a little bit of division, a little bit of separation in the fan base, a bit of divide in the fan base. That, is it fair? Is it fair to have a predetermined outlook for someone like Gabriel, Angelo Gabriel? I know. Before these last two games, a lot of us didn't know much about him. I certainly didn't know much about him. I saw clips of him. Some of you guys knew some bits and pieces about him and felt that, the hype is for real. He's already played 100 games in the Brazilian league for an 18-year-old. That's wealth of experience. Some of you guys actually believed that he could pose, a great, impact for Chelsea Football Club. And the majority, I think, probably thought that, he's probably going to get loaned out to Strasbourg. But now we're in a situation, ladies and gentlemen, where we're like, hold on a second in regards to Angelo Gabriel, because a couple of good outings. I mean, yeah, we had a predetermined plan that he was going to go to Strasbourg or wherever. I think it is Strasbourg. We'll touch up on the news on that on the 14th of July. Apparently, there was a news. Most of us probably didn't pay too much attention to it, so I'll showcase that to you. But isn't it wise to just see how things pan out in this preseason and then come to a conclusion whether this player needs to be at Chelsea Football Club or not, or can develop here, or is it better to go to somewhere like Strasbourg, where he's going to get minutes every single game? So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about all of this. It's going to be an exciting conversation, ladies and gentlemen. Smash the like button. We've already got 200 plus people in the building. Big up to each and every one of you guys. Big up to Samir, Unlisted, Goriola, Patrick, KB, Himanshu, my man. Miz, what do you want to do with Sterling? He's been a scrub in this preseason. That's a good point. And we'll talk about Sterling as well, because if he continues this way, he will leave us with no choice than to be one of those players that you start talking about letting go of perhaps next season. I don't know about this season. I think this season he's quite set to stay. But yeah, he carries on like this, he'll lose his position and then he will be up for market next summer. Mark Smith, big up to you. Mason, Tariq, Dai, Shubra, my Boy, Rain, Santiago, Roby, Mark Smith, Kevin S., Chelsea Till I Die, Arthur Wong. Good to see each and every one of you guys, honestly. Thank you, firstly, for 25,000 subscribers. We are actually now racing towards 26. Last I saw, I think I'm already up to 25 and a half, like after 2 days. We had record numbers for our watch along for the last one in the preseason. So thank you for the support for that. Last I saw, the views were like nearly 41,000 for that particular watch along, and then the review was very, very good as well, over 20,000 views. So the love that you guys are showing is incredible. Thank you heaps to each and every one of you guys. And my jizz comment on Brighton, that is circulating all around social media. I'm actually now famous in Brighton football Twitter. Brighton football Twitter do not like me. That clip of me saying jizz all over Brighton is doing the rounds. I think my recent video where I talked about Roberto De Zerbi disrespecting Chelsea, some of the Brighton fans have taken that clip and they've been circulating around, and it is what it is, man. It is what it is. They've been abusing me, but you know what? When you mute, you don't get to see any abuse. So I'm not even one bit bothered about any of the abuse because I've muted so many of them. So I'm not really up to the scratch as to what's going on. So they can go on and say whatever they want. I said what I had to say. This is the beauty about the mute button for all the people that are in on Twitter or any form of social media. Trust me, use the functionality of mute. Say what you want to say and mute the rest. Just mute the rest, and you're not gonna cop. You're not gonna see any of that stuff come your way. So we're gonna talk about all of that very, very soon. Milo, good to see you, my man. Miz, I don't get it. If you watch Olise, he's very similar to Ziyech but adapted. We have Noni and now Gabriel. Kudus, on the other hand, is a cam CF who can drift to right wing. They are reserved. Who do you want? Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Like, this is, let's start talking about this. Michael Olise to Chelsea Football Club. I've got a poll, ladies and gentlemen. Participate. 173 votes in, and after 173 votes, you have stated 40% have stated buy Olise and keep Gabriel. Look, I think that is highly unlikely. But yeah, participate on that, and we'll talk about why it's highly unlikely. But first, Michael Olise to Chelsea, ladies and gentlemen. Is it necessary? Is that necessary? Firstly, Michael Olise is a very, very good, talented young player, undoubtedly. In Crystal Palace, whenever I watch Crystal Palace, I always get very, very excited about watching Michael Olise. Eze is another one that is a fantastic player. Olise, most of the times that I've seen, he's played on that right side. There are times I've seen him play on the left side as well. Has got a very, very good left foot on him for set pieces. Likes to take on his man, dribble. And I'm pretty certain he can be coached under Pochettino to do exactly what Gabriel was doing in terms of those really nice short passes, 1-2 passes, give and go, which we've seen Gabriel do in this particular preseason, and he's done it so well as well. The last game against Brighton, that clip has gone viral. That final play, or close to the final play, where Gabriel he got involved in 3 different passes, and the quickness of his decision making. That's what's really surprised me about Angelo Gabriel, is that he's so well versed. He completely understands possession-based football. Short passes, 1-2, keeps moving, gives an option, give and go. He's always there. That sequence, if you have a look, the pass that I think initially he made a pass to a particular, might have been Nicholas Jackson, and then Nicholas Jackson gave it back to him, something like that. It might have been Andre Santos. But then the second pass where he passed it to Mudryk, I swear I didn't even see that. He passed it to Mudryk. Mudryk then laid it off again to Angelo Gabriel. And then Angelo Gabriel passed it on to, I think, Nicholas Jackson. And then Nicholas Jackson was trying to find someone else on the left side. But the bottom line in regards to Angelo Gabriel, not only he's so good on that right side, drifting in into central areas, and he has his body always open, which opens up a lot of different angles for passes to be made and allows for runners to then hit the opposition with a lot of pace. Not only he can do that, but it's those really nice give and go 1-2 touch passes. He had a shot as well against Wrexham, which was good. Obviously, he got himself an assist. He should have got another assist for Sterling. On top of all of this, Angelo Gabriel looks very polished. Like, I thought he would be a sloppy individual. I thought youngster, 18-year-old, is going to make a lot of mistake. But he's coming across someone who looks very polished, someone who doesn't look he's 18. And the way he's talking as well, post-match, saying, I want to see Chelsea back into the Champions League. I want to see Chelsea start winning titles. This kid is far beyond his age, man. And I know this has only been 2 games. And I want to continue seeing him against Newcastle, against Fulham, against Dortmund. But I don't think we should have a predetermined decision on Angelo Gabriel right off the bat. Like, okay, fine. Fair enough, we had a predetermined decision when we bought him. Yeah? But circumstances change. You got to adapt. You got to adjust to circumstance. So say, for example, I had a predetermined decision on XYZ, but things happened where XYZ impressed me. I have to adjust just because I thought, no, you know what? I had penciled XYZ to go elsewhere. We have to adjust in life. That's what you do. That's what needs to happen. So how can we make a decision already to let's go for someone like Michael Olise? I mean, are we already sending a message that, you know what, Angelo Gabriel, regardless of how you perform in this preseason, it don't matter. You're going to go out on a loan. And we're going to get ourselves Michael Olise. And then what happens with Noni Madueke? I mean, bringing someone like Michael Olise, what message is that for Noni Madueke as well, right? Now, I'm not saying let's not have competition. Of course, let's have competition, 100%. But what is the long-term plan? What is the long-term plan? You cannot have Madueke and Olise and Angelo Gabriel. So something to think about. President Jafar, thank you so much for the super chat. What happens to Madueke now? Exactly. What happens? What happens to Madueke? I mean, look, it's still just talks with Olise, but I feel like Chelsea might be very eager to do this because of his release clause of 35 million. It's a very tasty release clause for a 21-year-old. Adrian saying, don't forget Moreira. Yeah, look, Moreira probably is a bit behind in development as yet, but he's still young. You can see the difference. So far, we've seen 2 players, right, on that right side. Yeah. Who else did we see on the right side? Oh, yeah, Raheem Sterling. If he carries on like that, he's done. So far, out of the young kids, we've seen Moreira and Angelo Gabriel. You can clearly see Moreira is a little bit behind. He needs that loan. You can 100% say he needs that loan. Like, there are certain players you go, like, for example, Andre Santos. Andre Santos looks like a particular player. You go, nah, you know what? You need to stay. You're a first-team player. You would be a definite backup to Enzo Fernandez, and if we get Caicedo, hopefully we get Caicedo, you go, nah, you're staying. Cesare Casady, also very good so far, looking excellent. But I can understand if we want to give Cesare Casady on a loan. I can understand that, even though I'm now thinking probably he's worth staying as well. Under Pochettino, these kids are going to get better. But I can understand if Cesare Casady, there may be a few things he can fine-tune, right? And playing on a regular basis will only mean the best for him. Someone like Andre Santos, I honestly think he will come off the bench quite often, and he will get that odd start here and there, and you best believe the cup matches he will definitely start. So going back to the Gabriel Santos, Angelo Gabriel situation. I think it's wise if we just wait around and just see how the preseason ends, and then come up with a decision whether we need Michael Olise, whether we want Angelo Gabriel to go out on a loan. That's my belief. Let's see what you guys have to say about this. Omo, because this is what I'm saying. I rate Olise a lot because to be way more ready than we expected, but I would not go out and get Olise. We don't need it. That's the thing. I feel like it's not necessary. But that's just me. Chelsea fans have to understand that not every youngster will make it at Chelsea unless they prove they are one of the best in the position. 100% agreed, Roby, 100%. But you have to understand, Michael Olise is a youngster himself. He's 21. Michael Olise is a youngster himself. And he is also, Chelsea Academy player, ex-Chelsea Academy player. So, what's it to say that he's going to make it at Chelsea Football Club? So far, all I can say about Michael Olise, the talent looks immense, but there has been injuries mixed in, all of that. He's not been always there for Crystal Palace because of injuries, but yeah, he looks damn good. He does look damn good. There's no doubt about that. Olise is proven, though. Yeah, you're right. He has got that, taste of the Premier League far more than those players, and I can't deny that one bit. So I can understand Chelsea's interest. I definitely can understand Chelsea's interest. And with Olise, I guess Olise can play. I feel like he can play central attacking midfield. He can play right wing. He can play left wing. So you can have potentially quite a vast positions, versatility. Basically, you can have that. So there is that factor. Same with Angelo Gabriel. I feel like Angelo Gabriel, the way he drifts from right to central areas, I think he can also play central attacking midfield too. He's only 18, so you'd think someone like Pochettino would work on him to have that ability of playing as a central attacking midfielder as well. Samir is saying also Chukwuemeka because of his versatility. See, there's here we go. Now the conversation gets very, very interesting. You bring someone like Olise. Look, I still think we have room to bring in one more attacker. But we're linked with Kudus. We're linked with Ryan Cherki. I don't think we're going to get all three. There's no way we're getting all three. Potential. I think we can get one more and maybe keep everyone else. Maybe Angelo Gabriel probably still has to go on a loan, even if we get one more. But if you get two, you best believe someone's going to get loaned out. Someone. And this particular name, Chukwuemeka, it looks like he's probably going to get loaned out. I mean, where is Chukwuemeka's spot? Where is Chukwuemeka's spot? Someone like Olise comes in, he can definitely play that position. Nkunku, best believe, will start playing as a cam very, very soon with Nicholas Jackson up front. If you get Kudus as well, who can play cam. So someone like Chukwuemeka, look, I have to admit, in the first two games, first one against Wrexham, I didn't see too much of Chukwuemeka, but the second one, there was bits and pieces. They're 50-50. There's some things that wasn't that great, some things that were great. The first game, even though he got himself that assist for Ian Martin's goal, I wanted to see a little bit more. So, look, of the first two games, if you were to end the preseason here, you'd go, okay, Chukwuemeka probably has to go on a loan. But obviously, the preseason doesn't end here. We've got a few more matches to come. Maybe we can still, see exactly what Chukwuemeka can do. But yeah, he's another one. Like, potentially you're looking at maybe loaning out. Aman, thank you so much for the super chat. I thought we were going to trim the squad. Why clown owners are again bloating the squad? What is the point of 6 wingers for 2 positions? We need DM and GK, man. Have these clowns forgot we are 12th? We need smart owners. Look, I mean, I hear your frustrations, but our owners have actually moved away from footballing decisions in this particular window. It's the board that's taken over. Now, to answer some of your questions, you're talking about we need a DM. Well, we are, I don't even think we're neck deep. I think we're now close to nose deep. We're about to drown. We are so deep in conversation with Caicedo. It's not even funny. I think last people were showing on social media that Caicedo has taken Brighton's, at from Instagram. Like he removed Brighton from his bio. So, we are trying to get that DM. It's not like we're not making an effort. And in GK, brother Aman, we have been trying. We tried with Onana. Onana only wanted Man United, and we moved away from that very, very quick. We tried with Mike Maignan, but AC Milan don't want to entertain that. Now you tell me, which other goalkeeper do you want? Because everyone else, I don't feel totally comfortable with. I really do not feel totally comfortable with. So, if anything, I think our board, I don't even blame the owners anymore, because the owners are not that involved with the footballing side at the moment. They were much involved last summer because there wasn't any structure there. Now we have structure. Now it's predominantly run by Paul Winstanley and Lawrence Stewart. And then you've got Joe Shields, you've got Kyle McCauley, and all of those people running the recruitment and the contracts and all of that. Todd Bowley is obviously there with Igbali, but they're kind of taking a back seat. So I wouldn't be blaming them at this moment. But yeah, you're right. Like, what is the idea of going for so many wingers? We've got right now, how many wingers do we have? We've got Mudryk, we've got Sterling, we got Madueke, we got Angelo Gabriel, and don't forget, Ian Martin is getting used as a winger as well. So what does it mean for Ian Martin? Ian Martin wants to stick around at Chelsea Football Club. So you put in another winger, what does it mean for someone like Ian Martin as well? All right. T1, thank you so much for the super chat. You all think a loan is a solution to everything. If a player is struggling on loan, they will get dropped. The club don't care about the development. Yeah, look, I feel like when a player shows great commitment and when a player shows good quality, like from the two matches we've seen, I don't think many can deny the fact that Angelo Gabriel looks a class above. Like, without sugarcoating or without hyping the situation up, he looks a class above. Like, I've not seen an 18-year-old look so polished. Generally, they look a little bit sloppy. He looks like he's moving around like he's 24, 25, a very experienced campaigner. So when you get a situation like that, I feel like it's unnecessary to let him go on a loan. Like, that kind of talent is beneficial at Chelsea. All right, let's say we loan him out to Strasbourg, right? We loan him out to Strasbourg. Liga, it's not very competitive. Besides PSG, the rest of the competition is not that great. Okay. Angelo Gabriel potentially will play every single match, which is great. He can play under Patrick Vieira, which will be fantastic as well. He's a good manager, I feel. But wouldn't it be far more beneficial to sticking around at Chelsea, getting that adaptation in the Premier League? And you never know what one can develop into. So in this case, the loan doesn't make sense to me. Do you know what I mean? Like, for example, Omari Hutchinson, he's gone out on a loan to Ipswich Town. It makes sense. We believe in his talent, but we know that he's not there as yet. So let's loan him out and let's see what he does, right? With Angelo Gabriel, it just doesn't make sense to me. It really does not make sense to me. And the fact that we are so quickly into getting someone, we haven't got that particular player yet, but looks like it's progressing with someone like Olise. It's just the wrong message for someone like Angelo Gabriel, who's putting in a fine effort. Like, what happened to, like giving opportunity based on merit. You know what I mean? The Blues, Miz, so far Gabriel killing it. It's worth giving him chance until the end of preseason. Who knows if challenge for first team spot. But why are we linking with so many right wing? I like Olise, but we need Cam. Yeah, look, I think Olise is someone who can play Cam as well. That's the idea. So that's why it's all happening in that manner. Let's just quickly showcase to you the news that PYS put out yesterday night. But it's a news from a while back. So this is the particular news, ladies and gentlemen. July 14th, Strasbourg recruitment chief Loic Desire, or is it Desire? He, Angelo, will not arrive right away. Chelsea first wishing to integrate him into the club. He will come in August after the tour in the United States. So that was the case back in July 14th. But since July 14th, circumstances have changed. Circumstances have changed to the point where this particular player has done well. And I feel someone like Pochettino would relish a young player like him who shows the effort, the desire to do well at Chelsea Football Club. So I think it would be a waste to let him go for a loan. Shubra is saying Sterling, Mudryk, Nkunku, Olise, Noni, Angelo for 3 spots. It's a bit overkill, but I think we can have these options. Yeah, look, Sterling, if we are playing a 4-2-3-1, if we're playing 4-2-3-1, which is what we've been doing in the preseason, you can have Nkunku, Mudryk, and Sterling, and then you have Nicholas Jackson up front. So what that would mean is then you have Olise, Noni, and Angelo. So of course, in that case, it is a bit of an overkill, yeah. And this is what I've been saying. Why is it like it doesn't feel necessary for me to get Olise? So unless we think we can use Nkunku as a striker option as well, then you're going to have to start thinking about letting go of Armando Broja on a loan. Don't forget, we already have David Datra Fofana on a loan. So, yeah. I think Olise, Noni, Madueke, and Angelo we could probably do with. But if you start adding, let's say, Kudus into the mix as well, say you get Mohamed Kudus in, then you best believe, Angelo Gabriel is most likely going to be loaned out. So what does it mean for Noni Madueke as well? As much as I like Noni Madueke last season, there are certain things that I like about Angelo Gabriel a bit more than Noni Madueke. For instance, Angelo Gabriel has the capacity to drift from the right side into central areas. Noni Madueke doesn't do that. He seems to just always hit the byline, and then he doesn't have a right foot. And he always just wants to take the man on, which is great. But Angelo Gabriel is someone who looks like he wants to play that 1-2 and beat opposition defense with quick passing and quick movement. That is something Noni Madueke definitely has to improve on. Tulani Miz, you all don't want to listen to Poch. He wants the experience. Well, what experience are we talking about with Olise? Olise is 21, and I get it. He's played in the Premier League, of course, but we're not talking about immense experience. And you talk about experience, you need to understand Angelo Gabriel has played 100 matches. He's played 100 matches in the Brazilian league, like the top division, not even Brazilian League 2. Like I think Andre Santos used to play for Vasco da Gama in the second division. Angelo Gabriel has played 100 games in the top division in the Brazilian league. Now, Brazilian league, yeah, okay, fine. It's obviously not the same as Premier League. I understand that. But it ain't no Mickey Mouse league either. It's over 100. So, that in itself holds some form of experience, in my opinion. I-Test, good to see you, my man. Why does my seat... This chair, I need to change this chair, man. It just keeps sliding down. Oh man, I need to buy a new chair. Ladies and gentlemen. Okay, let's see what you guys are saying. I test merchant. Ms. Arsenal started Martinelli from Brazilian League, age 19 in the Premier League. Yeah. I mean, who did that Real Madrid? Who did Real Madrid buy recently? What's his name? Arda Güler, I think. Yeah, Real Madrid bought him. Young. Martinelli, young. Bukayo Saka, young. Martin Odegaard, young. Like, you got to give an opportunity. Sometimes you just have to give an opportunity. Atav, Miz, I think we buy Olise, Madueke will be second choice, and Gabriel will be loaned out, although I don't want Gabriel to go on loan. By the way, Olise also takes free kicks. I mean, Nkunku takes free kicks as well. Nkunku, I fully expect him to start taking, our set pieces. So, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Look, either way, I'm not going to be unhappy if we end up getting Olise. I'm just going to be a little bit disappointed that it would have been nice to see Angelo Gabriel be part of the Chelsea first team squad as opposed to being loaned out. I know it's not the end of the road for Angelo Gabriel if he does well at Strasbourg, which I hope he does. There's always potential to talk about him next season. And meanwhile, Michael Olise, makes his mark at Chelsea Football Club now. So we'll see. I mean, Man City is after Michael Olise as well, so don't forget about that. 420 votes in, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you participate in the poll. After 421 votes, 37% is saying buy Olise and keep Gabriel. Now, I think that might be the most unlikeliest option. But that's what you guys want. All right, let's see what else you guys are saying. Have you considered that Sterling will be sold and they buy Kudus and Olise? All right, let's talk about Sterling. Let's talk about Raheem Sterling. He is the hot topic. Look, you all know I rate Raheem Sterling, yeah? I rate him. I think there's value. And you guys talk about experience. Now, he's a guy with a lot of experience. Before we talk about that, just quickly as well, Fabrizio Romano, Chelsea are really interested in Michael Olise. City are just informed, and he's one of 3 names in their list. The player is open to making a top club move, of course. There you go. So, yeah, the interest in Olise is legitimate. But yeah, coming back to the Sterling situation, Sterling brings experience, some form of leadership as well. I'm not going to lie. He's the elder statesman, I suppose. On his day, he can be very good. Look, when he gets into that form, he can be extremely good. But I agree with you guys. If he continues to drop stinkers, and that game against Brighton was a absolute royal class stinker. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to blame too many players in that game. Honestly, there probably wasn't that many besides Sterling and maybe first half Gallagher. Majority of the other players actually had a very good outing. But Raheem Sterling was a standout stinker against Brighton. Now, if he continues on this manner, and don't forget, he when he came off the bench against Wrexham as well, missed a golden opportunity to score a goal with his head from Angelo Gabriel cross. And there were a few other things where he was, breaking down the attack. If Raheem Sterling continues this way, there will be no choice, but he will be dropped. And then as soon as he's dropped, loses his position, he'll start contacting his agent and then he'll look for a move. But I don't think he's going to be sold in this window. I really do not think he's going to be sold in this window. It'll be, you guys are telling me that Pochettino is looking for experience. Well, why is he going to sell an experienced player? And Sterling has only been here for 1 season. So, and let's be honest, there were times where Sterling looked really good for us last season. earlier parts when Thomas Tuchel was around, and there was a bit of middle part where under Pochettino. Out of everyone, at least he had some input last season. If it was still poor, but he had some input, obviously mixed in with some injuries as well. But I think he'll stick around for at least another season, and then the verdict will be made at the end of this season. Yardley, Gabriel is right winger and attacking midfielder. Why Chelsea again planning to buy Michael Olise and link with Kudus? Even we got Noni in the squad again. Ryan Shirky, what is happening? Yeah, look, Ryan Shirky, I don't think Ryan Shirky is happening. I think Lyon are looking to keep Ryan Shirky for one more season because they feel they have a very, very big player on their hands. Lyon feels that they've got a big money player right here, and they want to keep him for another season where he absolutely blows up, and then they're going to potentially sell him for huge, huge money next season. Yes, financially they're in a bit of trouble, but they'll let go of other youngsters that they probably don't believe in so much and balance up the books. So Ryan Shirky, I don't think it's going to happen. I could be wrong. We'll see what happens. We do need one more attacking player. I feel like we do need one more, and that would be the central attacking player. So someone like Kudus. Kudus made me feel like, okay, he can play central attacking midfield. He can potentially play as a false nine or a striker, can play on the left. Kind of fits a lot of the gaps. Like we're looking for a striker, we're looking for a central attacker, attacking midfielder. So Kudus kind of fills that gap. And you can still have someone like Angelo Gabriel. So I feel like getting someone like Kudus doesn't necessarily hurt Angelo Gabriel's cause. But you get someone like Olise, I think it definitely hurts Angelo Gabriel's cause. So, and it will be a healthy competition between Angelo Gabriel and Madueke. Two youngsters fighting it out. Both will get an opportunity. I think it's a right way to look about things. But you get someone like Olise, I think it's game over. Mo, realistically, we'll get Kudus. We're more advanced, and he's agreed to verbal contract. There you go. Hopefully, it is Kudus, because that makes more sense to me. Olise, as much as I like him, and as much as his release clause is so tempting, it just doesn't make any sense to me. That's how I look at it. Just bring back Felix on loan on that attacking midfielder. I think Felix's situation is well and truly over. Experience with no end product, that is Sterling. The young lads are performing. Use them and they will become better than buying other teams' young lads for a lot more money. Yeah, agreed. Ramadan is saying, someone tell Miz we got one game a week most of the season. Getting all of these players with similar ages will create unhappiness in the squad. We don't need Olise, Kudus, Shirky. Someone doesn't need to tell me. I 100% know we have one game a week, but I never said we are getting Olise, Kudus, and Shirky. I think we might get one more. There is room for one more. Don't forget, we don't have a backup for Nkunku. Like Nkunku definitely will come in as a central attacking midfielder, and you'll have Jackson as the striker. And if you want to give Nkunku a bit of a rest, if you want to, sort of have some allowance for if there is an injury, then you need a backup. And then don't forget, we want to go as far as possible in the cup matches, in the domestic cups. And this season, we've got some of the domestic cups very early on because we finished 12th. We're not going to be starting off in the 4th round or something. I think we're starting from like 3rd round this time around. So the depth in the cup competitions is very much needed. We can't be going in too thin as well. But you start adding players like Olise, Kudus, Shirky, everyone, then of course the players that we already have, where we need to get rid of some of them. Right now, I think it's fine. You can just add one more player that kind of fits as a striker, as a central attacking midfielder, as someone who can play on the left side. And that for me is Kudus. I think Olise could potentially play as a right winger and central attacking midfielder. I don't think he can play as a striker, but that would mean you'd have to get rid of Angelo Gabriel. But with Kudus, I think you can still keep Angelo Gabriel. But yeah, Kingsley, thank you so much for the super chat. In my opinion, Kudus will get eaten as striker. His position is AM. No, we'll see. We'll see if he does get eaten or not. I have seen him play striker against Liverpool in the Champions League, and he looked very good. He looked very good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap things up. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. Smash the like button before you go. Well over 600 people live right now. If you're here for the first time, subscribe. Let's race towards 26,000 subscribers. I shall see you guys later on tonight, UK time, 8:30, 9:30ish, approximately that time. We'll drop the video for the day, encapsulating all the latest in Chelsea news, Chelsea transfer news, and all that jazz. Until then, everyone, take care and see you. I hope you guys have had a good interaction and a good live stream. Till then, see ya.